You're listening to vNacelle Insights, where we bring you valuable information on accelerating business value, business transitions, employee engagement, visual process mapping, self-awareness, and entrepreneurial excellence.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Ledoux, and I'm the CEO and one of the founders of vNacelle. We're a consulting company that internationally helps people build roadmaps to success and then supports them in their journey. Today, what we're going to talk about is transition. So we're going to talk about business transition. Our focus is going to be on private business transition, and specifically, we're going to talk a little bit about families. The concepts that we're going to talk about also apply to employees. They apply to partners. So one partner leaving, other partner staying, business owner leaving, employee potentially buying in or taking over. Putting relationships first is the key. So how do we do that? We start by understanding what it is that people want. So we want to help other people get to where they want to go. And we also want you to be able to get to where you want to go. So by putting objectives first, we're able to focus on the people and not on the process of actually transacting the business. And it gives you opportunities to have open and honest discussions about things you want, about things they want. Now, I have never been in a situation with a business that was transitioning where everybody got everything they wanted. It just doesn't happen. But the neat thing about this is by putting relationships first and actually understanding what people want, what you're able to do is give up something and give somebody else a gift. So if I want something and it's in opposition to what you want, I can think about it and know that you want it and say, you know what, that's not so important to me. How about if I give that one to you? And I know that'll make you really happy. And maybe we can do something else and I'll take something else that'll be more important to me. So in doing this, instead of being abandoned or having something taken away from you, in our process, by putting relationships first and knowing these objectives, you're able to give people a gift, and it's a really fun thing to do. So we keep the relationship going, we keep the conflict down. I love this little African proverb, and I was able to find it when I went and did a talk for about 30 women business owners in South Africa. That was a great and rewarding journey. And so my quote is, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others. Now think about that. If you want to go far, go with others. We want these businesses to thrive after us. Typically, we do not want them not to continue because it's been great to take care of all these people. And you actually love them in a way, you care for them. So we want to go far, and we have to be able to do it with others. We like the concept of a roadmap. So we like the concept of a transition roadmap. A roadmap is just a map that tells you how you're going to get from one place to another. It's pretty simple. So this navigational roadmap, if you think about your phone, because most of us have used Google Maps or the map program on the iPhone, that kind of thing, those maps, they require a couple things. They require that you know your current location, right? So where do I want to start from? Usually it's your current location. You need to give a destination. So where do I want to go? Where's my destination? And then when you push get directions, what it does is it actually gives you different routes sometimes. Sometimes you can go the fast way, right? Sometimes there are tolls, sometimes they're not. Sometimes you're on the highway, sometimes you're on the back roads. But you have choices, and so you pick the route that you want, and then you navigate along the way. And funny thing is, you end up many times with construction along the way. Sometimes there's a road closure. And sometimes you see something really cool that you want to divert. And when you divert, then guess what? The phone, it recalculates your roadmap. It'll recalculate your directions. These are the things that we need for a roadmap. We need to know where we're going to start from and understand it. We need to know where we want to go, which is sometimes hard for business owners because, again, we have all these dilemmas. So what's my ultimate destination and what does it really look like? We need to know who's going to be on board with us. We need to have some kind of a timing mechanism. So how long are we going to be on this journey? Is it 1 year? Is it 5 years? Is it 10 years? And then we can start on our journey and make those decisions along the way. So without a roadmap, typically what we find is people get frustrated. Talked to a lady even yesterday where she's got a partner who is a managing partner in a law firm. They know that this managing partner is getting older. They have a couple of younger partners and they're trying to figure out when is our partner going to be ready to go and what's she doing, right? So there's anxiety. Are we going to be okay? Are we going to get this knowledge transferred? How is this all going to work? What happens if something happens? There's anxiety on the people's side. So with a roadmap, what you're able to do is you're able to engage other people and reduce that anxiety. So with it, we know the content, we know where we're going and how we're going to get there. So we know the content to the best of our ability into the future. And we also have the people on board, so we know how we're going to do it. The interesting thing is once you build a roadmap, the burden actually moves from you to being on you and others. Now that's key because remember, going back to my engineering degree, nobody made me do that degree. Nobody told me I had to do it. I wanted to do it. I was engaged in it. I worked hard to get it. And I knew though the path to get from where I was when I got into school to getting that degree. Same concept goes with these successors. Remember, we need them engaging, we need them inheriting. So the roadmap allows you to get the journey in place and show the path, and then step by step help that person or people to learn and engage and become the successor. So we want them to learn and engage and become that successor. Now, I don't know if you know about the biosphere in Arizona, but the biosphere in Arizona, it's an enclosed environment scientists built where they can live inside of that glassed-in environment without any outside influence. And years ago when they built it, they brought over some trees from Africa, and the African trees typically would grow very, very, very tall. These trees that they brought over, they started growing and then the limbs started breaking. And so the scientists did a little bit of work and figured out that the reason why the limbs were breaking is because there wasn't any wind in the biosphere. Now, typically, even as parents or as employers, we like to protect our employees. We like to protect our people. One of the key pieces in the succession and transition journey is that we don't protect too much. Our people need a little bit of wind. Now, they don't need hurricanes and they don't need to be torn apart, but we need a little wind to grow. So remember to have a little bit of wind along the journey and on your roadmap. So what we want is we want for this to become not only your adventure, but we want this to become their next adventure as well. The 3 keys to transitioning well, we believe, are to remember that it's a journey, not an event, that we want to put relationships first, and that a roadmap is your best tool. Now, if you're able to do those things, then I think that you'll have a fun and rewarding journey. Transitioning well, it's probably the most important thing that you'll do in your entire career. And we know it's a risk, but so is just being in business. And so what we want to do is help you to put relationships first and make this a fun and rewarding journey, because the future actually is pretty exciting. Thank you for joining me. My name is Elizabeth Ledoux, and I'm CEO and founder of vNacelle. We'd love for you to reach out, and typically what we do is offer a 3/3 meeting. We call it a 3/3 meeting. Majority of it is about you. We tell you a little bit about us, and we give you some concepts along the way for you to use as you go forward. We'd love to have a 3/3 meeting with you. All you need to do is reach out and we'll get that scheduled. And then you can explore some new concepts in transitioning well.